This is why this team is impossible to guard. You've got Drew Holiday and Sam Hauser running an empty side throw and chase action, whereas with the ball handler, tosses it and then comes and sets a screen. It's just the two of them. They can score if they try. Sorry, that's a terrible joke.
Let's kick it off with Game 3, which unfortunately feels like a lifetime ago already. Celtics on offense. Close game. Tatum screens for Derek, getting the switch onto Kyrie, but then Tatum immediately seals off Kyrie using his size, and then it's out to JB, who has the perfect angle on the entry pass.
So this is an empty side pick and roll with Jason and Derek White, and it really just shows how powerful the 5-out is, because Gafford tries to cheat, tries to get over. Derek White, perfect timing. He swings it, kicks it to the top of the three-point line with Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen, it's just the perfect timing because Gafford has to check out of the paint to avoid a defensive 3 seconds, and Tatum is hitting it perfect with the seal out on Kyrie, and then it's an easy layup on the over the top from JB pass.
Yeah, Kyrie must get PTSD anytime Tatum posts him up. I swear, all series, going back to the Brooklyn series, they just hunt this guy relentlessly, specifically with Tatum in the post. And yeah, you love these actions with D White and Tatum as the screener. Drew just like lifts up a tiny bit in the corner as well once it swings back to Jaylen. It brings Gafford a little bit back out because he sees Drew coming, and like even if Gafford does come down to help on Tatum, it's just like, okay, well now Drew Holiday's wide open in the corner. They're just so hard to guard.
Sticking with Game 3, there was no Game 4. Don't try and convince me otherwise. And this is an absolutely insane defensive possession by the Boston Celtics, kind of led by Drew just death staring Kyrie up the court. And then even when he has to give up the switch here, he's still absolutely hounding Tim Hardaway Jr. at the point of attack. Hauser does a great job of denying Kyrie here, just fundamentally sound disruption of the passing lane, chases him into the backcourt, at which point the shot clock is winding down. Just what a stop by the Celtics.
Yeah, and so Dallas is in an interesting look. They're double big with Gafford and Kleber. So JB is actually playing the 4. He's on Gafford, and so the C's are really small. Dallas gets into this like kind of nice action. It's a flare DHO, but for some reason Tim Hardaway's the guy getting the ball off the flare screen and not Kyrie Irving. Hauser and Drew execute a perfect switch on that, but Drew still has to get over the dribble handoff screen, which he does perfectly. Play goes absolutely nowhere. Gafford, bailout pass, who then does a bailout pass to Kyrie. Hauser's all over that, knocks it in the backcourt, but Kyrie kind of gets ahead of steam, but you can see Hauser and JB read it, and they switch midcourt, which is absolutely beautiful. And then there's a kick out to Kleber, and Hauser's all of a sudden the rim help, but he does such a nice up and down, straight up contest. Shot goes nowhere. Celtics ball.
Yeah, if you want a definition of buy-in, this is the possession. Like, it starts with the head of the snake with Drew Holiday. You can see the defensive game plan is like just deny Kyrie the ball. So if you're Dallas, like, why are you taking the ball out of Kyrie's hands in minutes without Luka on the court? Because you cannot make it more difficult than it already is, and Drew does a good job denying. Then Hauser's denying, which leads to him getting that deflection, and everybody's just on the same page. JB's like, yeah, you take Gafford. Tillman's ready to close out. He recovers on Maxey. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the play upon rewatching, is Hauser is now the rim protector, and he goes straight up with verticality, and then he also gets a little tip on the ball on the rebound, which allows Tillman to get the rebound. Just all in.
Moving on to Game 5, and just watch Drew Holiday on this possession. He is fucking everywhere.
So I love Derek attacking early. He gets downhill, scrambles the Mavs defense. They have to take pickups that they don't want to take. He almost gets a little too aggressive, but JB gives him the outlet at the last second. And then they reset with the kick to JT. 0.5 second decision making. He's got Kyrie on him. He takes a quick dribble, gets into the paint, kicks it out to Drew. Drew tries to get downhill, 0.5 second decision making. Then he sees Lucas on him. Then he tosses the old kick it to JT, go set a screen for him. Let's get Luka in this action. Luka, complete fucking no man's land. JT with a beautiful little short roll pass to Drew, easy bucket.
This is what Joe Mazzulla is talking about when he says fight for great shots. Like, Dallas actually does a pretty good job initially defending. Luka Doncic actually contained a drive. Tatum gets the ball back with 7 seconds on the shot clock. He could have gone ISO or step back in this situation, but goes to the next action. Drew slips it. Luka doesn't give second offense on defense. Not what he does. Beautiful pass to Drew, our 6'4" center, rolling down the lane. Mazzulla ball, baby.
More from Game 5, and more Drew Holiday just brilliance. Little dribble handoff for Sammy, who draws two. I don't know if that's the actual intent of the Dallas defense. Like, look where Luka ends up there. The help D comes for Drew, and he's got options, but the best option always is Jaylen Brown on the 45 cut for an easy dunk.
This is why this team is impossible to guard. You've got Drew Holiday and Sam Hauser running an empty side throw and chase action, whereas with the ball handler, tosses it and then comes and sets a screen. It's just the two of them. They can score if they try. Sorry, that's a terrible joke, but it's just the two of them. They've got Luka involved, so it's probably not going to go well for Dallas. Luka tries to do something defensively, almost jumps into the stands. He's so incredibly out of position, and then I just doesn't make any sense to me. But Hauser takes one dribble, finds Drew Holiday on the roll, wide open, and then JB with the 45 cut off the break, easy money dunk.
This is the Boston Celtics 2024 version of the beautiful game. This is why this team won the title. Like, this is the possession right here. Doesn't matter who's on the court. Everyone knows the offensive system, offensive scheme. You can throw it to anyone. You can get the ball moving. You got Drew Holiday just doing everything. Hauser running the pick and roll. Luka Doncic is playing a game of Drew Holiday is lava. It's like there's screen navigation and then there's screen evasion, I think, is what Luka Doncic is doing. Things like, I can't touch Drew Holiday. He just jumps into the sideline, and then Drew Holiday gets downhill, and it's just party time. It's like, do I want to kick it to Porzingis in the corner? I could hit JT at the top of the key for a 3, or I'll hit it to Showtime, Jaylen Brown down the lane for 2, and then we've got the future version of Jake at the end. Just
yes,
we did it. We're doing it. Let's go.
That guy. Yeah. And finally, Tatum gets the screen from Al, which gets Kyrie off of him in exchange for Derek Lively, arguably a less advantageous matchup for JT. So Horford strolls down the lane, taking Kyrie Irving with him, who asks PJ Washington to switch with him, but then Kyrie just gets completely lost there, does not properly switch onto Hauser, who ghosts the screen and nails the wide open 3. Like, I get sending 2 to Tatum there, but it's Sammy Buckets, dude.
Yeah, you can't leave Sammy Buckets. So this is a horns out set, which is when you set a cross screen for the other guy to come out wide, and the Celtics flow into a pick and roll. That gets Derek Lively on Tatum, and then we're like, okay, well, Kyrie's on Sam Hauser now. Let's flow into another pick and roll, and then the ghost is so perfect. Kyrie has no idea what's going on. Hauser just floats into a wide open space, and Tatum, like he's done all series, just reads the defense perfectly, wide open 3.
Yeah, I think they're switching everything, and Sammy in the corner is like, what are we doing? He kind of like puts his hands out a tiny bit, being like, and he's like, okay, I'm coming up, setting the screen, and he ghosts it so perfectly that Derek Lively doesn't realize that a screen's even being set. So Kyrie's like, okay, I'm gonna go switch out to Tatum, and Derek Lively's like, why are you switching out to Tatum? Because Sammy Buckets has just set this beautiful ghost screen, and you can tell the bench, as soon as Sam Hauser gets wide open there and the ball's coming his way, everyone just starts to explode on the bench. It's like, oh,
yes,
bang, let's go.